experts live and free. Fascinating show today. It's my absolute pleasure to have you guys along. Nice to have a few of you in the room. I imagine there's a few more piling in as they come out of the last session that we've just finished on trading different markets. And look, we might touch on a little bit of the same stuff early in this session, maybe a couple of minutes of overlap. Today's session's about coming back from a break. And look, traders take a break for a number of different reasons. And I think, amongst the most common for sort of institutional type traders, if they're taking a break, it could well be because of a divorce or relationship breakup. It could be from bereavement in the family. At times when you have real emotional stress, it is very, very hard to trade. And those guys often have a break. For the retail traders, those breaks can be for different reasons. Work can just get in the way. Life can get too busy. People can have problems with failing to their strategy failing, or they're not being able to make any money, or perhaps more often that they start trading their strategy really erratically, and they have very, very mixed results because of doing that. So there are plenty of reasons that we have breaks. I think that quite often as well, financial hardship outside of trading can affect people's money to trade. There's all kind of things for the retail trader that can have them have a break. And look, I think one of the keys is to get them back into into trading, and to get back. I think most importantly, I think the key to having a break is to coming back with a plan where you're clear from the start that you'll be more successful than you were before you had the break. If you're going to have a break, it's going to give you perspective, and it's going to give you a chance to have a look at your trading and to come back and go, well, actually, last time I was doing too much of this, I want to do more of that. Last time I was breaking my rules. Last time I was risking too much. This time I'm going to get that under control. I'm going to come back a better trader. And if you can do that, breaks are really healthy for you. During the session today, I'm going to talk a little bit about trading different markets again. I'm going to touch on that, which I did a bit earlier in the earlier session. We might talk a little bit about even some of the recent market activity again. I think Alexis is going to talk about some market stuff. Hi, saying welcome, and that kind of stuff as well. But what I really want to focus in today on is what are the keys after a break. And the first thing I'm going to do today is go to Alexis and ask her, when she's had a break, what are the keys when she comes back in?
Hi, Paul. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Alexi.
Yes, so I've recently had a break. It was actually, nothing's happened in my personal life. What happened was during the COVID period, right? We were actually stuck at home for almost a year, I would say, in Singapore. So I had a friend who asked me, hey, we are starting a new exhibition project in Singapore. Do you want to, jump on the team and work? So in my head, I was thinking, hey, shouldn't be too hard, right? And I want to get out of the house, go and see people, being outside, be outdoors. So I just said yes. And then once I jumped into it and I realized that with the post-COVID, there was so many restrictions, with the social distancing, government, regulations, etc., that what used to be a easy project suddenly became a lot more complicated, a lot more time consuming. So I was stuck with a decision of, should I continue trading while being smashed at this new project that I took on, probably without fully understanding the time commitment I had to give in this project. So that was, I jumped on the project in mid-November. It was not too bad, and then I got smashed in January, right after our trading bootcamp. So it was kind of frustrating for me because fresh out of the 5-day bootcamp, I was really excited to experiment with new things that I've learned. I was excited to try new stuff, but I realized that the time and the focus that I had to commit did not match up to my plan. So I had to make a decision. Do I continue to force myself to, to continue trading despite restriction of time? What do I do then? Do I continue on, do I change a strategy and stuff like that? So what I've learned during being stuck at home for the entire COVID period is, I think that period gave me a bit more self-awareness, a bit more understanding. And what I eventually decided on was to take kind of a semi-break from trading. So what I did was, if most of you have been with us, you know that my favorite time frame is the hourly time frame. I enjoy the flexibility of that time frame, and I was very used to it. But because of a sudden change in lifestyle and schedule, I had to say, okay, I have to stop trading the hourly. and I have to decide, could I go on the daily time frame instead? So in a way, I've had a break from the hourly. I haven't touched it for months. Just got back to it, I think 3 weeks ago. Between I think January till end of May, or somewhere third week of May, I have not touched the hourly. I have done a little bit of daily wave rider trading because that was the only thing that time allowed me to trade. But aside from that, I have kind of just been reading the headlines on fundamentals. Basically, haven't really been focusing as much as I'd like to. So I think it was very challenging because I was used to taking more trades per day, but I'm down to trading probably like one trade a week or two trades a week max. So it was very uncomfortable. But I think the time away from screens in that year of COVID kind of made me understand myself that this is what I had to do to keep my account alive, or to keep my trading psychology alive, so that I don't, when I come back to it, I don't get demoralized, and I come back with the understanding that when my life changed, when my routine has changed, my plans will have to change. So I think it doesn't just apply to life plans, it applies to trading plans as well. So that was
So
one of my biggest learning
when you're at
points.
home, when you're locked down for COVID, is there a temptation to overtrade? When you're locked in the house, is there a temptation? There's not much else to do, so do you jump in front of screens
Definitely.
to do too much, right?
Yes. Especially, I think that the danger comes when you have a streak of wins, right? Because you spend more time in the charts, and being on the hourly time frame, you manage to pick up more setups because you just do have the time in front of charts. And then after a streak of wins, you think that, hey, you're extremely good at this. You could double it, you could catch more of these, and that's where the trap comes and hammers you right back down.
Yeah, look. So if you had one tip for somebody coming back who's had a break from trading, what would it be?
Um, I think go back to basics. Pick. It's very tempting because we have so many strategies we're exposed to, and there's so many stuff that we like. If you have been trading a lot of things previously and you're coming back to it now, I would say back to basics. Pick one, focus on one, and get that one right first.
Cheers, Lexi. Look, we're going to run a course on Sunday for people who have come back from trading. During that course, we're going to reteach the daily wave rider strategy, the latest version of it. We're going to take you through, if you've had a break, how that works. And those who've done it before are welcome to come back and refresh on it as well. But during that course on Sunday, it's a free course. I'll get Maya to put the link up for that course at some stage. You can register for that free. I think we've got about 70 registered for at the moment. If you're having a break from trading, look, we'd love to see you in it. And one of the things we'll be doing is we'll be having different senior traders talking about we're going to do it here, but we're going to do it a bit more on Sunday, where we're going to have different senior traders talking about their experience of coming back from a break and what was particularly important to them. In a few minutes, I'm going to ask Ainsley to come in and talk about her approach to coming back after a break. And sometimes a break isn't even just a break from trading. Maybe sometimes it's just a break from winning. We have a period where you do have a breakdown from your results. We're going to have a chat with Lloyd reasonably. And I think the ability to come back from the break's probably the most important thing in Lloyd's trading history. 2 or 3 times when he was learning, he walked away, and 2 or 3 times he's had that break and then come back. And importantly, he's come back a better trader. And I think that's a hugely important part of this. If you're going to have a break, learn something from it, come back a better trader. We've got Simon in the room as well. Look, drama in his break. I don't think we'll go into the detail of the drama again because you guys have heard Simon's story, I think. But we will talk about how he did it, how, having made a lot of money, being destroyed and having it stolen off him, how he then managed to recollect himself and after that break get back into the game. What were the keys? I'm really interested to hear from the guys and girls. What were the keys, if you've had a break, to getting back into it and being successful again? If you've had a break from trading and you're listening on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, make sure you stay with us as well as in the Zoom webinar. If you're on Facebook and Zoom and you want to go in the draw at the end of the show, just write your name in there and I'll put it in for the prize draw at the end of the show. And as well as that, if you have any questions, just post them in there as well, and I will pass them through to us and we will answer them. Ainsley, you're next up. What do you do when you've had a break? How do you come back? What's important to being successful coming back?
What's important? Keeping your head. Absolutely, keeping your head. As Alexa said, it's so easy, especially if you've been on a really good run. to think that you're bulletproof and that everything's really good. But when I've had a break, it hasn't always been like that for me ever. So you mentioned a couple of reasons for having a break. And as you know, I trade institutional money. So my approach has got to be completely different in that I'm trading other people's money. For me to step back into what I'm doing has to be, my litmus test is my own personal account. So over the last couple of years, I think I've done everything that you mentioned there. Why people have a break, which included death, divorce, demove. I had all 3 Ds, you know, so the big one. So
let me just check this right. Last year, you had divorce, the passing of a parent, and moving home inside the year. And in that year, you made well into the 6 figures from trading gold. So I'd imagine that you had not like that long break, you know, not that 6 month break, but you had a number of short breaks during that time while you were dealing with all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I found it, and I've got two young girls as well. They're 12 and 14. So I'm juggling them as well. It was a bit of a full-on year, but I also had to have a bit of a focus, which was my trading. And my personality is a little bit, a touch, tinsy-wincy bit stubborn and dogged. Shut up. No comments. And look, when I was left in a situation, my back was up against the wall and I had to trade because that's what I knew. I went to sort of like my comfort space. But after that, I had to have a break. I was spent.
It does catch up, right? Yeah. Really, at the end of the day, Ainsley, you broke a lot of the rules of trading because you needed to at that time, right? Where you just had to find something to, you know, you went through all that stuff and you needed to trade. You went back to what you're good at. You did a really good job. And then there comes a time you just go, actually, I just need to have a break from this. Other people's money, the best thing to do is to have a break and come back and trade it nicely when you come back, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I was good to go again. But then my mum passed away. Didn't have a lot of say in that. And that, I've got to say, my mum passing, she was elderly, but the shock of it happening, it still took it out of me. And as I said, I've got 2 little girls, two young girls dealing with that as well. So that was also a bit of that was next level. And I stopped trading, and I think it was an IFP I didn't come to, and there was a few other bits and pieces. So for me to actually completely pull back, but each time I've come back, I've had to do it very slowly, and I do it by trading on my own account before I start trading the institutional money as well. So it's important to get your head right because it's business. It's a really different business approach. If it was just retail, and it's just my own account, different story. You sort of go, yeah, that's all right. But I'm on a different trajectory there. I've got to be responsible and accountable to my clients.
Look, I want to catch up on a couple of things. Firstly, I'm sorry, I did giggle when you talked about your mum passing. It wasn't because your mum's passed. It was because of something in one of the comments I read in the chat. So I apologise for that. And look, people always talk about joining the Actions 12 team or the Online Trading Profits team and how to get in the team. Wouldn't it be amazing? Well, the one thing to do if you wanted to make sure one of your parents passed away last year was be on our team, because nearly a number of our people went through having a parent go last year. It was not a great year for a lot of our people.
It was a shocker for us as a team, wasn't it? I mean, I'm not laughing because it was hilarious. It was just one after another for 4 of us in the team. Where my mum passed away in June. I think she was the first, and then it was between June and December. There was 4 of us that just were dealing with a loss of a parent, and it's like I said, okay, they're getting older or they're ill, but when it happens, it's quite a different emotion.
I want to ask you a couple of really, really pointed questions about coming back. So you say that for you trade your personal account, and when that goes right, you start trading institutional money. For people coming back who are at a retail level, They could trade a demo account, and when it starts coming back, start trading real money. Finding a place to trade with the least possible pressure while you find your feet again is one of the steps, one of the things you can do to come back and put yourself in the best possible position, right?
Oh, for sure. And it's clearing your head and just getting your confidence level back again. And January this year, and I'm quite happy to talk about it because I had this amazing run. I was up quite a lot. And then the market turned after the Georgia state elections, and it wasn't what I expected. And whilst I had trade calls out saying cover this, cover that, I didn't actually do it myself, and I took a hit. And which is, as you know from my trading track record, it was not something that I'm used to, and it took a lot. But then it compounded into, it turned out I was actually, I had a blood count issue, I had low iron levels, I was not functioning or even thinking properly. So I ended up, I sort of fell in a hole, as you know, Paul. I just sort of went off the radar because I was so sick. I was in bed most of the time. I couldn't function.
How did you come back?
How did I come back?
You work really hard last year through all of that trauma. You get to the start of this year. Your body says, look, that's enough. We're just going to bring you until you're right. And then you've got to come back having had a break. How do you get back?
So I had to have a break away from the computer. As Alexa said, you had to have a break from the charts and all the rest of it. And I did that, had to get better myself. So I was on medication and iron tablets and supplements. And until I was actually back on top of that, I couldn't even look at a chart. I couldn't trade. And then I came back and I went into my own account, small risk. And one of the things that's great with this community is we've got a lot of great people in this community that support us, because trading can be quite a lonely occupation. End of story. It can be lonely. But when you go into a hole, it's so easy to go down into a hole and then say, this thing doesn't work, give up and walk away and just say, that's not what it's about. And it's developing mental strength as well is what I found is, okay, personality traits aside, it is about getting back on top and having the community around you and the support network that actually keeps you get you back into that point where you go, okay, let's start again. Let's write out all the rules again. What's my strategy? Let's be clear about that. And slowly stepping back into it. And that's what I had to do, and then get back onto the hobby horse and get back into trading funds.
Yeah, look, it's interesting stuff, Ainsley. I think the steps involved, this is what we're looking for the people listening, right? And I think there's some really good insight for people there. And look, one of the things for me, when you're coming back from a break, trading makes it simpler but no easier. There's still a temptation to come back too quickly for mine. And I know a lot of the best traders that I know, when they come back, have a rule of not actually placing a trade for a day or a week. They'll come in and they'll look at the charts for a week before they trade. There are things you just need to be disciplined coming back, right?
And it's the same thing. And I think I've said this all the time. It's the discipline, and it's not cutting the corners or over trading or thinking that you're bulletproof or okay, we're on a winning streak, so there are more and all the rest of it. And all of a sudden you're blurring the lines with what you're saying. And you do that exercise all the time with the F game. You can look at the same thing 20 times and start to see different things. It's just no different to a chart. And it comes down to your mind and your mindset and how you're thinking at the time. And if you're tired, for God's sake, forget it as well. And if your body's not good, again, but step it in and be disciplined about it, and don't overdo it, and don't think, oh, quick, I've got to get back to where I was, or I'm missing an opportunity. I mean, trading is like standing at the bus stop. Another bus is going to come along,
Look, Angie, I'm going to thank you very much for that. In a minute, we're going to have a chat with Lloyd, and after that, Simon's going to come in and talk about his experience. Now, Lloyd, in the early days of his trading, I remember him having breaks at least 3 times where really, I thought, and you touched on this, Ainsley, where I thought that we'd lost Lloyd. but the community brought him back. And one of the great things about our community, I think people misunderstand this. Our community doesn't mean that people stand there and clap everything you do. That's not the kind of community we are. Our community means that when you need somebody, somebody turns up. And that's a really different thing, right? It's not about just being everybody's cheerleader. It's about going, well, actually, what's happening with them? What do they need? How do we pull some strings to make sure that they get it? How do we get them back? And look, I'm going to talk to Lloyd next. I'm going to talk to Simon afterwards. And what I'm going to ask you to do, look, if you haven't had a break from trading, or if you had, coming back is an awkward step. I'm going to ask you to ask some questions. We'll get it to the people in the room. We'll get it to Alexis. We'll get it to Ainsley, Lloyd, Simon, any other team that want to join us. And we'll ask them for you, because this will be an important time. If you're sitting here thinking this doesn't apply to me, I'm going to trade the next 30 years and never have a break, I wish you a better life than that. I hope something turns up you need to have a break for. Please, when you get married, don't trade for 3 weeks. Go and be a good husband and wife. There are always breaks in our life. We get a break every Christmas. I guess Ainsley doesn't.
Yeah, I don't.
That time. But most of us get a break at Christmas. So if you have any questions, put them in the questions box. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Twitter, if you're on Facebook, let us know and we'll answer that for you. And if you want to go on the prize, just write your name. Prize will write your name in there, and Maya will help you with that in a few minutes. I do need you to jump into this, Simon. I really do. Just I'd like to do it one at a time so we can get real clarity around the answers. Got a bit of stuff going on from Gordon on the email as well on the chats at the moment. Nice to see him around. Look, next up for mine is Lloyd. Lloyd, how you going?
Hi, Paul. Yep, just back from some back testing and jogging, so still fresh.
Back testing and jogging are separately, right? You can't actually back test while you're jogging. Not that good, are you?
No, separate.
But I'm loving the testing. Some interesting stuff, and that'll get shared more again. Some interesting stuff coming out of the testing about stuff that everybody thinks works that doesn't appear to work in our testing, and stuff that people don't seem to know about that does seem to work. We're talking more about that in the next few weeks. So I think you joined us, if I'm not wrong, Lloyd. I reckon you joined us around 2016, 2017. You were on a course with Charlene and Saha. And my question for you is, how many breaks have you had since then?
Major break, I would say 3. Minor breaks, every now and then I'll have minor breaks. Yeah, but the major ones would be 3. I think each one of the breaks takes longer and longer. I think I vividly remember the first break I had was about 2 weeks, followed by a month, then nearly 2 months. Yeah, thereabout.
And the nearly 2 months in your mind was the end, right? You decided this wasn't for you and you were going to move on, and then you chose to come back, right?
Yeah. I mean, obviously each of the 3 times I took a break, I did something terrible mentally which I couldn't accept. Then of course I wanted to walk away, but in the end still returned. Yeah.
Let me ask you, for you, what do you think the keys are from coming back from breaks? 2 months is a decent time break from doing anything, right, Lloyd? So when you came back, I guess what I'm going to ask you is, did you try and relearn anything? We got a course on Sunday. Did you go to something like that and try and to get some help from Charlene? What did you actually really do? I think this is one of the things about this show. I'm not interested in the script-written PC answers. What do we really do in these circumstances as traders? What did you really do coming back, Lloyd?
Well, before I came back, I tried to forget everything because obviously what I know wasn't working, so I tried to forget it. But I would say that the process is right before I go back to trading, I would just chat with whoever is available, just sort of like a little bit of pep talk to myself. Let's get ready mentally. Then, of course, on the actual trading part is even it applies today is that I will do some little bit of back testing just to know what I'm doing, and then I'll enter the market with very minimal risk, usually 0.1%, and take baby steps from there.
Yeah, I really like that coming in at low risk and building. I really like doing the back testing first. By the way, I just want to say, Lloyd, it's nice to see you here coming back, and I really want to commend you for cutting it for charity. I think that's a really nice step, mate. So thank you for doing that, mate. I think, we all have to find the right things to support in the world at the moment. It's a world where there's a few different things that need some support. So thanks for that, mate. So, mate, yeah, you had this 2-month break. You one of the things that I'm really interested in, and I don't know the answer to this, but testing, back testing, developing indicators, reviewing indicators has become a passion of yours.
Yeah, sort of like a hobby to mine. Yeah, because I realized that my mind is so wonderful at spotting things that are not there. So indicator is one of those things whereby, look, if it's there, it's there. If it's not there, isn't. It isn't the answer to all things, but it sort of keep my mind from straying about. Yeah.
Do you think that having that kind of interest helps you to come back? And do you think it helps you to stay involved these days? That just the enjoyment and the passion for doing this stuff helps you to stay in the game without breaks as much now?
Yeah, I think it definitely does help. There are definitely periods whereby I'm still sometimes disillusioned in the market. Yeah, but knowing that, but at the back of my head, I also know that losses does comes in. Then, of course, playing around with other things that is still related with the market does help. Yeah, keeps my interest grounded.
Yep. And let me ask you, if markets don't provide you what you want, do you while you're in front of charts, do you have periods of time you just don't trade anyway because you can't see what you want to trade, or are you when you're trading, are you pretty actively in the market most days?
How to put it? I am active when the situation demands of me. So that means when I need to analyze, I'll be active. But outside of analysis, I don't really care what the market is doing. Yeah, because my method is quite grounded, methodological in a way. So if the opportunity is not there, then I will simply walk away. But on saying that, I'll relate to what Alexis says just now, is that COVID does give me more time to stay in front of screen. So then one of my bad habits is not entering trades, but become micromanaging my trades.
Yep. Look, being in front of it's like all of it, right? Every part of it, right? Being in front of charts a lot. It's these things always have a plus and a minus. If you really want to become a good trader at some stage in your life, you need to sit in front of charts and watch them, and probably have a position on. You need to the only way you really understand charts. Look, trading the slingshot with Jeff back in around 1905, I think it was. We were doing trading the slingshot together. I don't know when it was, a long time ago. But I spent a lot of time in front of charts, just looking at charts, and I think it really helped me develop as a trader. And I think it was a really important part. It's not a strategy that really suits me. I still trade it occasionally. It's not really a strategy that suits me, but it did give me an understanding of the way markets work that's helped me ever since. And I think it's hard to replace time in front of charts as a building block towards success. Look, I'm really interested in the breaks, Lloyd. If you had one piece of advice for people who have had a break of over a month, what would it be?
You mean when returning from break or during the break?
Well, both. If you've got both, definitely returning from break. But look, one of the things that I think, and again, jump into this with me if you want to, Ainsley and Alexis, if you want to jump into this as well. One of the things about breaks for me is that they give you perspective. Is that really you come back with I come back with actually, even if I've been trading ones having a break for different reasons, I come back and go, actually, I don't want to do so much of that. I want to do a bit more of this and that. Really, I haven't really been paying enough attention to this, and I need to pay more attention to that. And I come back in my head very clear on what I need to do to be a better trader. And one thing that's really important to me coming back from a break is to write that down. To write down what I need to do differently. And as an example, if last time you traded, you got too busy, you didn't have time for trading, then you need to write down what you're going to do this time when you get busy to make sure you can continue trading. I think you do get that time where you have a break to really reflect on what you do. And for me, it brings real clarity. It's really good for my trading to have a short break from the charts. I like to have about a week off every now and again and just stay away from it, And I tend to come back with real perspective. How about you guys? During the breaks, do you learn anything? Does it help you? You get perspective.
I'll go first. So during the break, what I do is usually what happens is in trading, I think a lot of you know right now is that we are really trading our own against ourselves, our own beliefs. So if I take a break and something wrong is causing for me to take a break, then of course I will analyze and I'll think about what is the mismatch between my beliefs and what the market is showing. Usually that will give me an answer. So I need to marry my belief into the markets or the current strategy I'm trading. That when I'm coming back from break, again, I don't jump straight to the market. My go-to way for managing is I actually have a cents account, $200. Yeah. So that allows me to get my feet wet a little bit. Yeah. So I will jump into my cents account before I go into my own personal bigger accounts. So that's how I manage both ways.
I really like that, Lloyd. Alexis, anything from you? Did the breaks help you to get perspective?
It definitely did. And I think one very big light bulb for me during the break was actually Gordon, because I think my challenge has always been, like fighting against myself, very similar to Lloyd. But I think after sitting through that Gordon's one session, I was like, oh, that's why I trade like this. So I actually it kind of clicked into understanding why I reacted to profits a certain way. And then I think that takes away half of the like how Lloyd says, that the fiddling with your trade management. Like, it's not just about the entry, it's about fiddling with the management. Should I move my stop loss here? Should I close it early? Should I let it run? I think understanding why I did that, it took a lot of the fiddling out of it. And that totally changed for me, because then when I closed it, I didn't worry about where it went. When it's still open, I'm not fretting whether or not to close it early or not. So it took away that part of that overthinking. So I think overthinking is what I do a lot. And understanding that part of it took it out. So it became a lot more relaxing for me to trade these days.
Look, it's one of the things, looking at that, without doubt, different things in the last few years, we've picked up different themes and they've made a real impact in the business. Talking about creating a bias before you trade your technical setup, I think that made a massive difference. I was really big on it for about a year, about 18 months ago. We spent a lot of time talking about the things you can do to create a bias, things about seasonals, cost, fundamentals, strategy, so currency strength, that kind of stuff, to give you a starting point for which direction you want to trade what. And I thought it made a real impact. But I think the stuff that's made a real impact this year is without doubt the Gordon stuff about personalities. We've packaged it up and simplified it up for the courses. You'll be talking about it again on Sunday, no doubt, Alexis, but I'm hearing more and more about people trading in line with the way they are. And I know that sounds really new age and a bit gooey, but when you can start and trade in line with who you are, trading becomes a lot easier than when you're fighting who you are. And fighting who you are as a trader is a battle eventually you lose, right? Angie, anything from you? Did you get anything from the break?
My breaks were very preoccupied with other things, but I've got to say, this last break that I had, I took the time to rejig some charts, and I was discussing this with you the other day, and I put some indicators on MT4 platforms that I've been using in a different way on another chart system. And I finally looked at it and went, oh, that's really, really clear. And it stopped me going into trades, and have been very good as far as backup and just that bit more analysis to go into better trades. So that's helped.
Saved you some money this week, I'd wager, Ainsley.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, what have I looked at that chart today and thought, oh, she won't be in that. She'll be pleased. And so I really like that. One of the things, right, when you come back, for a little while, you come back with fresh eyes. And what you do want to do is don't come back and be the same. Come back with fresh eyes and come back with a plan to be better. Simon, thanks for joining us. Thanks, guys. Simon, thanks for joining us. How are you going?
Good, mate. How you doing, guys? Good to see everyone. Been a long time.
Yeah, mate. Well, I spoke to you last night, but other than that, it's been a long time. Mate, looking forward to seeing you live. I'm still, I know that the Australian Prime Minister is coming to Singapore later in the week. I think he's still in New Zealand at the moment. He's coming to Singapore on the way to the UK, and he's talking to Singapore about a travel bubble. So I'm really hoping that we might start to see some travel bubbles opening up. There's definitely talk between Singapore about opening up to Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. So it does make me think that a trading retreat in Singapore live in late November, early December is a real chance. And look, again, I don't think it'll be a full team, because I think even if you have a travel bubble, you've got to allow people to make decisions about their families and that kind of stuff. But I think we might have a few of us back together in Singapore. Unfortunately, in Singapore, the beer will cost us 10 times more than Bali, but it's nice to see everybody.
Decision made. I'm coming.
Simon, you were coming no matter where it was, no matter when it was. I don't think you've even missed one. Mate, in simple terms in your journey, you started and you quit. It took a couple of weeks to think about it, and you came back and you started trading, and over a period of 5 or 6 months, you learned it, and you started making pretty good money trading some stuff with Chloe and the strategy that I trade off the big turning points. Your money was basically stolen off you, and you quit. And after that, you've had to come back, and it was a lot of money too, Simon. It wasn't $50 or $5,000 that went missing. It was a lot of money, right? and you've had to rebuild, come back, and start again, and you've rebuilt yourself into a little bit of Forex, but mainly crypto. What are the keys to coming back from traumatic breaks well?
What got me back? It took me 6-7 months before I even considered that it was a possibility. I think it was around June 2019. I couldn't. I heard Ainsley earlier. I was the same. I couldn't look at anything. It made me feel sick. So I just made a conscious decision in June that if I was going to get back into it again, I was probably going to need some assistance from you guys, and the only way for me to get that was to probably go to Bali again. So I booked a ticket. I booked a flight in August and thought, I'll go there. I'll hang out with these guys, and I'll see if I can get anything from it. And my first thought process was, the last time I was there, I saw the beach for about an hour. So I thought, even if I go for a week and just hang out on the beach and do nothing, at least I'll get a holiday out of it. As it turns out, I didn't go on the beach much. I was in that room for the whole week with you guys, and that was the catalyst.
Right, amazing. It's one of those things. Like I say, I think one of the things the organisation is really good at. The organisation's not good at standing around and clapping people. The organisation's really good at getting people around them when they need them around them. I don't say to anyone these days, "Hey, can you check in on Simon? He's making a fortune." We tend to do that stuff at other times where we say to people, "Hey, can you check in on someone? They're doing a bit tough at the moment." And I think it's people. We talk about the team and the philosophy, but I think that stuff sits behind the team. Inside the company, I think if you're involved, you realise that in the really bad times, people help you, and in the really good times, we just expect you to stand up on your own 2 feet and get better. It really is. I'm really pleased to help you, mate, because the last year's been bloody good to you, and I'm really pleased that we played a role in that. And I say this all the time, Simon. And I want to say, I've said it to you before, and I'll say it to others again, that the truth is that no one can get you back. All we can do is offer some support, but you get yourself back eventually, right? You have to make the decisions, and you have to find the hunger again, right?
You do, but when you're surrounded by people that have been through something similar, where maybe not as harsh, but everyone else has been through something like that, haven't they? So you just kind of draw off.
I don't think it's severe. I think a lot of people in trading have been through a flash crash where they got caught, or a broker going broke and they've lost 10 grand, and most people have been through something. I think your example was more, but one thing about it, I think I think it's really good to be around, as you say, people that have been through something similar and come back. So you went to Bali, and it was a really good experience for you. You didn't get to the beach, and next time we go somewhere, I'm going to kick you down to the beach one morning. You have to go spend a couple of hours in there. It's literally across the road. You know that, right? You just got to walk across the road and you're on the beach, mate.
Yeah, I saw it from the bar. I just didn't get it.
Yeah, right there. What next? So you go to Bali, you get motivated again, you get some belief back, you're around like-minded people, and that Bali event, I've got to say, I really miss it. I hope we do get back together in Singapore later. It was bloody good for us, mate,
Yeah, I didn't trade when I was over there. I came back, and within 2 days, I took some reversal off a 200 EMA that went really, really well. that was all. That just got me back in. Just I hit the ground running. Hit a great winner and just didn't look back.
And I love that strategy. I've got to say, it's it's not a strategy that gives you a high percentage of winners, but when it wins, it gives you big winners, right?
It was timing was perfect for me.
Brilliant. So if you had some advice for people who've had a break, and particularly a traumatic break, coming back, and look, not everyone the only way to get to Bali is to have been there before, be a platinum mentorship with Actions to Wealth Online Trading Profits, and really not everybody financially can do that. So if you can't do that and you're coming back from a break, what do you think are the basic things you need to look to do to be successful in coming back?
Well, I went straight back to the very first weekend's teaching from you guys. I kept the 2 big books, and I spent a week trolling through those, and I watched all of the video content that I started watching early on, just to grease myself back in. So going back to the start and not starting again, but just refreshing.
Look, I really like that. And again, Simon, you've always been really consistent, right? You've always, and look, you've had a really good record at Forex. You've now got a really good record at crypto. But one of the things you've always done is you always go back and review everything you do, right? So be it a crypto course, and you're one of those guys that you're in, right? So on Saturday, we're doing a Learn to Trade Crypto with Sukri course. It's a different course. It's,
I signed up.
I was going to say, you made a couple of $1 million from crypto. And what are you doing on Saturday? You're going to go and watch Sukri and see what you pick up from it, right? And one of the things you regularly do, when it's $97, it's not 95,000, it's $97. But you're one of the guys who, if we're teaching, you're likely to be in the room if it's at all relevant to what you do. And that means for you all night. You're in the UK, you're not in Singapore. That means you're going to be up all night watching it, right? All recording and watching it the next day.
I can guarantee you I'll learn something from it. So why would I not?
I think one of the things that really does change, right, Simon, is that it's not fair to say that you make your living from trading because you've got a good business, but you make a living from trading, right? So continuing to get, it's not a game for you, right? It's something where making a living is an important thing you do from it, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Great. Look, again, I'm going to run around this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask if you want to come in on Sunday. Alexis is going to run the show. Ainsley will be in there. We're going to have Charlene in there. Lloyd's going to be in there. Chloe's going to come in. And what we're going to do is, and this is, I'm going to just straight up, what we're going to do is a free event. We're going to start at 8:45 on Sunday, and we're going to teach you, for those that have had a break, coming at 8:45, and we're going to cover setting up on MT4, getting our templates in. Alexis will take you through that. The team will be in the background of the Skype support, helping you one-on-one to do all that stuff and making sure you're set up. At 9:30 on Sunday, we're going to start teaching. And what we're going to do is we're going to intertwine teaching the daily wave rider with tips about coming back into trading. And I think the tips about coming back into trading are really important. At the end of the day, we're going to do something we've never done before. We're just going to say to you guys, if you really want to get better at Forex trading, do a consultation with our team and talk about how we can facilitate that for you. There's no plan, there's no pitch. It's just sit down with one of the consultants. And it's not a coaching session. It's a session about what are the things that we can provide you that would actually make you a better trader. And I've told the team no limits. Whatever that you need that we can provide will be available at the end of that course as we make a real commitment here. I really want to get this on the record. I want to make a real commitment to people who have had a break to come back on Sunday and to start again, like Simon talked about, and to learn a great strategy and to be surrounded by our people. And at the end of it, to say, instead of going, we go, there's this, you go, I need this and this. And we'll see if we can put that together for you to help you become a better trader. So look, it's not an event that's closed to YouTube. I'm going to ask Maya to post the link in now so that anyone that wants to jump on and register for that can register for that. As I say, starting at 8:45 on Sunday for those who want to have help with installations. If you've had a break, you may want to do that. And 9:30 for those that want to do the education. We're going to have Alexis teacher, Charlene, Ainsley, and Chloe will be in giving direct support on what to do when they're coming back from breaks. Lloyd will be in there as well, helping us out. And again, look, this isn't a sale. This is a free event. If you want to come and do it, come and do it. If you're not one of our existing clients and you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube and you want to come and get back into trading and see one of our strategies, yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it took me a while to read that and just get it. Simon's having a read of it now. It's yep. I think that's fair, Crystal. What about the German thing? But the rest of it, I think, works okay. If you want to come in on Sunday, spend the day with our people, come and spend the day with our people, come and do it for free. You're welcome to. Bring your friends, bring your family, it's fine. Just come along and learn to trade and learn what it takes to get back in if you've had a break. And look, the truth is that, we can talk around it, but I know the majority of people who have a break are those retail traders who have probably been scammed somewhere. They've probably lost a truckload of money. Confidence is ruined. Come and spend a day with us for free. Come and spend a day with our people for free and just spend some time with them and see what it is that we have and see whether we can help you or not. And look, honestly, at the end of the day, if at the end of the day with us, we can't help you, then go find somebody that can. But it's I would expect you'll take away a really good strategy, some really good pointers, a really good checklist. We must get that checklist finished, Dodge, and everything else I think with that checklist needs to be done. And you'll be a better trader for it. And look, I think my belief is that, and again, look, I'm just a trader with a point of view. I don't know all this stuff, but my belief is that 95% of people who quit trading want to still do it. they're just frustrated with their results. They're frustrated with something. They just need some support. And look, again, have a free day. Let us help you. And if it goes further, it doesn't. If it doesn't, it's cool. But come along and give us a chance to see if we can put you back on the journey. I want to be really clear that inside the people that have just spoken to you, you've got a number of people who make full-time livings from this, because when they had a break, they either reached out or someone else reached back to them. We got some support around them, and they're now doing really well. And you can do really well. You just need to come back and work hard at it and learn it. Remember, if you trade the online trading profits with Actions to Wealth way, you trade without losing, which is kind of cool as well. Look, guys, it is 11:45. It's a little bit earlier than we would normally wind one of these up. I'm pretty keen to open up the session to questions. If there are any questions, I'll go around the team and ask them. I'm going to do a little bit of a summary, just having a look to see who is in the room. Nice to see you guys all in. In fact, I can see a few guys who have had breaks at different times and come back in the last bit. Okay, guys. You guys know this, right? I'm not a write it down dude when it comes to trading. It just exists in the picture in my head. But when I come back from a break, I write down what I want to have difference. How important is it to you guys to write stuff down? I know, Simon, part of your journey is going back and relooking at stuff, but how important is writing down some notes and being really clear about it coming back into trading after break for you guys? Let's go with Alexis first.
Yeah, I think writing down, I'm also I don't really like writing down, but I think writing down for me, it's important, especially at the start, because I need the rules. If not, I'm definitely going to break them. So I need to write down my rules, because especially the way I trade on the shorter time frames, you have to stick to the rules. If not, you're just going to get smashed. So for me, it's taking a post-it with the rules, sticking on my screen, and reminding myself that these are the rules, follow it, and I'll be okay.
Cheers, Lexi. Ainsley?
Definitely after a break, try and see something different. It's so easy to look at the forest and not see the wood from the trees. So yeah, writing it down and looking at things with clearer eyes. And seriously, if they're not clear and you're still not good enough, close the charts down and walk away again.
Lloyd?
I don't particularly write things down, but I'll actually look at my previous trades and question myself why those trades make sense to me at that point of time. If I know it, that I would know, oh, actually I shouldn't be doing this. And of course, my rules are actually the same. I just need to follow them. I don't need to invent the new rules.
So one of the things you do, we do it in words, you do it in pictures, right?
Yeah.
And look, it's amazing, isn't it? You know, when you go back and look at your previous trades after the event, you just look at them and go, what the hell was I doing? You know, it's amazing how bad they look at times. You go back and look at your trades. I do this, and I go, what was I taking that for? You know, what was on my mind that day? And yet when you're taking that, look really clear. I love going back and looking at trades. And one of the things I really like to do is, and you know, it's the old thing about keeping a list of winning trades and a list of losing trades. I love looking at pictures of my winning trades because it anchors in my head. There'll be something about that. When I look at the chart, it's just a chart. But 3 weeks later, I'll see another chart. I'll think, oh, I remember that, you know? And what I tend not to do is I have a look at my losing trades. I try and work out what I need to know from them, but I don't dwell on that. Simon, do you write stuff down, or for you is it books and videos?
So I'm more of a rewatcher. So, but when I'm rewatching, I've got this methodology. So this is a yellow, write stuff down, scratch it down, Google it down, and then when I've done all that, I'll get rid of the crap and put it all in one of them, and that's my little walk around. Everything's in there.
So look, I think there's some really interesting stuff in here, right? And I'm going to try and find the nicest way of putting this, but we don't just go, well, I've done a trading course, so I'm going to make $1 million now, so I'm down off to the charts, right? In the background, all the people here as we're coming back, and look, the truth is what we're doing while we're having breaks, we're also doing while we're trading in some way or another. But we work quite hard at it, right? It's not just, you know, I've done a course, so I'm going to be okay. There's if I want to be successful at this, I'm going to work pretty hard at becoming really good at this, right?
Make a point. If everybody that's done a trading review, before they come back. I know I might be bleating on about that whole trading plan, weekly review, working out what works for somebody and just jotting those things down. I don't know, it might be something in that.
Look, it's one of those things, Andrew. I think if you're listening to this, I think it's one of the really clear messages. I just want to ask Candice, how do you know what one of those looks like? Not the buzzed part, but how do you know what the other part looks like?
I had the same question, actually. Come on, Crystal.
I think one of the points in this, and look, I hope you get this when you watch this video, these shows, right? When you see the team, there's often a little bit of humor, there's often a little bit of fun, but individually we work pretty hard at this. And that, I've got to say, I've been doing this for about 45,000 years now, and I still don't sit down in front of charts and just expect to make money. I expect to have to make good decisions and to be calm and to review what I do and to get really clear. We just did a session earlier on today. If you didn't get there for the session today, I won't redo it now, but have a look at the session that we put on social media earlier on today, Alexis and myself, about trading different markets. And once we get through trading different markets, we talk about the market we're in right now and why it's a bad market to be trading and how you can just easily see that. And I hope that was clear in the demonstration I talked about the difference between a trending market and a chopping market and what they look like. And, go back and spend 20 minutes and 25 minutes, because I was quite late coming into here, but spend 25 minutes and go back through that video and look, you can skip through the Bitcoin stuff and that kind of stuff at the start. And when I start talking about, the most recent markets, have a look at that Aussie dollar, have a look at that chart. And if you can understand that, you'll save yourself the pain of the last 2 to 3 weeks, because I see your accounts and I understand that a huge percentage of our people have tried to trend trade that chop and have got chopped up for it. And being able to identify that is a huge thing. So none of us come back from a break and just think, well, I'm God's gift to trader, I'm just going to sit down and make some money. We all come back with a different way of doing it, a bit of a plan on how to do it. And along the way, we make sure that along the way we make some friends and we've got some people to have a laugh with while we do it, because trading for us is quite a serious thing. When we're trading, to be honest, it's quite a serious, intense thing. And when we're not actually trading, it's about relaxing and having some friends. At the end of the day, that's one of the things I got from sport. At the end of the day, however many world championships I went to, what I was left with at the end was friends, and that was the most important part of the whole thing. And trading's the same. You'll make some money, but there's other stuff that's involved if you can find the right people. I feel like I'm rambling on. I don't want to ramble on. I want to ask Simon one question. I think it starts with, have you earned more from trading crypto or earned more from IDO, ICO, and staking? Many thanks.
Yeah, I read that question. I don't know. It's difficult to tell.
You made a bit from each, right?
Probably from the early IDOs months back. We all know about those. That we just got lucky and hit a couple of absolute stormers. Staking, we do all of that. We're really active. So everything that's on that question, we've done well out of all of it. We're trying to be better crypto traders, because we had 2 months of madness where I almost had about 4 heart attacks in 2 months, made a shitload of money. But now we're trying to be a little bit more, cautious. And we're trying to get good at range trading crypto.
Look, it'll be a good challenge for you, Simon. I think if you're a good Gordon's program, I think you're a polar bear at heart, mate. I think you might struggle with some of that stuff long term. Got to be who you are. It's interesting to watch you guys and what you do. And I, full respect for the money you have made from all different parts of it and for committing to it. It's one of the things, like Simon. At the time I've known you, I don't reckon you spent an hour half-assing at trading. You've either been trading as trading and working really hard, or not doing it. They've been the only two speeds, right?
Correct.
Rightio, in a few minutes, I'm going to ask Mai to do a prize draw. The prize draw for today, I'm going to work out what that's going to be in a few seconds. Look, we've got a free course on Sunday, so I can't give you the free course because it's already a free course, right? We've got a crypto course. In fact, I'll tell you what, you guys tell me. Do you want a free session? Do you want the $97 course of Sukri's on Saturday? Do you have the link for that, the payment link for it? I don't think you do, but if you do, can you put it in there? Do you guys want for the prize today, do you want to spend Saturday with Sukri on trading crypto, or do you want to spend the strategy bias group? Either one of those, let's have a vote. I'm going to give you guys about 60 seconds to post in the box whether you want the Sukri course as the prize or the strategy bias group. If you have anything else that you would like, let me know. Crystal, if you could just type in there that you're going to win, because I miss that if I don't see it every 15 minutes or so. You know, what would you guys like? I've got trading crypto. Crystal wins. Let us know what you guys want as the prize, please. The strategy comes in. Let me know, and whatever you guys vote for, I will
take the strategy and buy the crypto course. That's an easy one, isn't it?
Yeah, look, there's the link if you do want that. Yes, it is, Mike. You can send that out. Not available on Saturday. Oh, I like that. I'll tell you what I like. Keep putting the answers in. Let me know what you guys want, and I will come up with an answer. I've got a theory here. There's the link if you want to attend Sukri's event and pay for it. Mike, can you put the link in for the free session on Sunday as well? I do recommend that, guys. We are giving some pretty special stuff. And look, that is, oh, by the way, guys, don't let me forget to remind you of this, right? What is this weekend? It is Sukri's birthday. It is James's birthday. I don't think they're the same age, but it's both of their birthdays. So make sure if you get a chance that you do reach out to James and Sukri over the next couple of days. And I'm not sure if Sukri's available just to chat your name at the moment. He seems so. There's a couple of links come in. One is to pay for Sukri's course, and one is for the free event on Sunday. Look, guys, we're pretty busy over the next couple of months. I'm hoping to announce perhaps tomorrow or early next week. We've got a new trader who's joining the team, and he's largely mine, Ainsley's, Julian's boss. And I'm looking forward to having his program. It'll be on the mentorship pathway, and before we put it on the mentorship pathway, we will offer it to the entire database once, so don't miss out on that. We've got a busy time coming up. We've got the other crypto course where we do wallets, how to set up a wallet and get airdrops into it. We've got some stuff from Gordon coming up. There is plenty of stuff coming up over the next few weekends, so try and keep yourself as free as you can. I imagine if you're in Singapore, Malaysia, Melbourne, you've got plenty of time for different things at the moment. Rightio, if you want to be in the group, if you want to be in the prize draw and you're on Facebook or YouTube, write your name in there so Mike can add it. If you've asked any questions other than Crystal wins, if you've asked any questions, then I'll put you in the draw twice. I will let you know by Monday or Tuesday what we're doing next Thursday, whether we're having a show, and if so, who my guest will be. Let's do the prize draw, please. Oh, and here's the winner. The winner can choose the strategy bias group for a month, or they can do Sukri's course on the weekend. The winner can choose. Hey, everybody, lots of people in there. Let's spin it. Will Crystal come? Will Crystal miss by one again? There's been the habit so many times in the past. I know she won the last one. Candice, it's lovely to see you back in these events. Lovely to have you back involved. Nice to see you back in Melbourne. Now, Melbourne, how close was Crystal? I can't believe you took that away from us for a long time. I've got Melvin. Hi, Melvin is here, so he wins. Melvin, do you want to do Sukri's course on Saturday, or do you want to do the strategy bias group for a month? Can't attend the session on Saturday. Maya will contact James. He's on half day tomorrow. He worked at Public Holiday recently. He's doing half day tomorrow. So he'll probably be in touch with you on Monday, and he'll put you into the strategy bias group and give you a free month of that. Look, guys, I've been really clear a few weeks ago that I want to make this show as unscripted as possible, and I want to really ask the questions that I think people need to know the answers for. And I'm going to ask us to wind up again. One hint for people who are finishing, who have had a break and are coming back in. One hint for traders, and then we'll wind it up. And I imagine I'll be back next week, but I'm not 100% sure who with. But one hint for traders, please, Lexi.
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
One hint for traders. What's one hint you've got for traders?
Be yourself, I would say. Be yourself. I think that's really important because as we start learning about how different people trade, and I actually did it before I wanted to be a Lloyd. That did not work out. Yeah. So because I trade, I wanted to be a Lloyd because I wanted to do the stuff he does. It did not work out. So be yourself.
So it's Melvin, that's very generous of you. I think we'll give you the strategy bias group, but if you want to give the slot away, just write it in there again. You can have the choice. You can have the strategy bias group for a month, or we can do a redraw, whatever you prefer. Let me know though. Please let me know. I really like it, and I think it's let's do a redraw. Melbourne has voted for a redraw, so we're going to thank you, mate. That is very good of you. I love nice people in our organisation. That's bloody generous of you, mate. We'll do the draw again. Crystal, you can start typing in Crystal once you bet me already. It's already in there. It's know who you are, be who you are, right? It's not just be who you are. You've got to work out who you are, right? I think that takes. I reckon the first year of trading is more about working about who you are with money than anything else. When you get that, I think it becomes a lot easier. Tip for traders, Ainsley?
Be kind to yourself if you're having a break for whatever reason. Like I said, I ticked 3 of the big ones over the last 18 months, and coming back too soon will put a hole in your account. So be kind, be gentle, and understand your limits.
Like it, Ainsley. Lloyd?
I would say moderate your expectations of the market. Yeah. Sometimes people comes in and expect 100% return a month. I think that needs a bit of moderation. If they can start to trade their beliefs and moderation, I think that'll be good.
Fantastic, Lloyd. One more from Simon before we do the draw again. Please, Mai, ready for the draw again, please. Be funny if Melbourne wins again.
I'm just going to repeat what Ainsley said. I completely agree. Be kind to yourself.
Yeah, look, I really like it. I'm going to add to that a little bit. Make sure you come back at the right time for the right reason. Don't come back because you need to make some money. Markets don't care. Come back because you feel like you're ready and you're in the right frame of mind to trade well. And when you feel like you're in that stage where you're ready to learn again, where you're ready to be disciplined, where you're ready to be better than you were before, that's the time to come back. And until you get that time, then I really encourage you to enjoy the break. Be kind to yourself, and whatever it is that makes you happy, if it's long cycles, if it's a couple of beers at night, whatever it is that makes you happy, do that until you're ready to come back, and don't come back until you're ready to come back, because that is a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, Maya's ready. Let's do. Thank you, Melbourne. This is the Melbourne sponsored draw. The winner will get to choose between Shukri's course on Saturday, trading crypto, or the strategy bias group. Crystal is keen. She wants the strategy bias group. Let's go. I'm pretty sure that Soon will be in the room. Soon, can you confirm you're in the room and what it is that you want to win? Can you? Yep, you're in the room. Which one do you want, Soon? I think you've paid for Shukri's course, so you do have the choice. If you want to do it for free, we'll refund you, or you can take the strategy bias. I could be wrong. If you haven't paid for Shukri's course and you want to do it, just let us know, please. Guys, did I speak slower today? No.
It's okay. I think we mostly catch what you said, Paul. It's all good.
I thought I did. I thought there was a time that I remember thinking, gosh, I'm speaking. Shukri Crypto, Soon Farley, that is yours. Mai will let James know. James will be in touch tomorrow. We'll get something sent out to you and get you into the program. Look, here's what I'd like, guys. Most of you know how to contact me. I'm not sure who I'm going to have on next week. I think I'll be back next week. Make sure you let us know. You've paid for it? Just let us know. We'll refund it soon. Just let James know and we'll refund your payments. No problem at all. Thanks for being on the show, guys. Thanks to you guys for coming in and joining us. Join us next week and be committed to this. If you want to succeed, come along and be committed to this. I want to thank all of those who have spoken tonight, those in the Zoom watching, those on Facebook, those on YouTube, those on Twitter. It's great to have your company, and just being here shows you're committed to going in the right direction. Yeah, look at that, second win for Soon. Well done, mate. If you keep turning up, good thing happens. If you keep turning up, good things happen. That's the way it works at the end of the day for mine. And if you stop turning up, whatever happens. Have a great weekend, guys. Enjoy it. If you're joining us for Shukri on Saturday, if you're joining us with Alexis on Sunday, have a great time. Thank you guys very much. See you all. Bye.